We are back. Thanks for clicking on the link. Welcome to Good Energy. Enjoy the content, and everyone have a blessed day. And we're back, guys. We're going to take a look at the late night quarterfinals match at the Indian Wells on the WTA side. That's right, Jelena Ostapenko, Shelby Rogers, and that was the look on Shelby Rogers' face, and that's how Ostapenko was feeling tonight. We had a thriller. We had a three-set match that seemed like it would never end. Ostapenko was in control of the first set and just pretty much having her way, showing her passion, showing her expressions. And a lot of people think that Ostapenko is a bully. She's a dirty player, but she's one of my favorite players. I love her passion, and she's, not a bad looker at that. But Ostapenko, I've expressed, one of my favorite players on tour. Shelby Rogers had the crowd behind her, but it was not enough. Ostapenko was pulling her normal antics, very emotional, loud, yelling, screaming, and just intimidating her competition like she normally does. But this match came down to a couple key things that are quite astonishing. I did pick Ostapenko to win this match, so for any of my Patreons that sign up for my service, you see that I deliver matches that win consistently, especially on tennis. I only put matches on there that I know will win, that I feel very confident about, and a lot of my Patreons, they make thousands of dollars. That is no lie. But this match here was pretty interesting. Jelena Ostapenko had 0 aces. That's right, she didn't have a single ace the entire match. Shelby Rogers had 4. Ostapenko had 8 double faults to Shelby Rogers' 2 double faults. Shelby Rogers also controlled the first serve, and Ostapenko had 46 unforced errors. There's no way you can win a match with 46 unforced errors. Shelby Rogers only had 17 unforced errors. How did Jelena Ostapenko win this match? This is insane. Well, she won the match because she had 51 winners to Shelby Rogers' 22. What does that mean? That means that Jelena Ostapenko, much like Camila Giorgi, is going to go for the winner. She does not want long rallies. She does not have the best footwork, so she's not in there to outwork you or be the better athlete. She's in there to take shots down the baseline that are going to win. That's exactly what she did today. She won the first set 6-4. She dropped the second set 6-4, although she had a chance to go ahead and probably win that. The third set, she got broke early and was down. Shelby was in control. The crowd was behind her. And then, again, she just does what she does. She's just firing on all cylinders, hitting shots that are just amazing. She has great strength, great shot-making ability, and that's why I picked her to win this match. She won a total of 105 points, and that was enough to get the win here for Ostapenko. So what's next for Ostapenko? She's got to face Victoria Azarenka, the 27th seed and the 32nd seed in the world. 32nd rank in the world, I'm sorry. But let's take a look at Victoria Azarenka's match earlier, and let's see how she pulled that one off. Victoria Azarenka, Jessica Pegula. This match went exactly how I thought it would go. The look on Jessica's face, frustration all day long, and there was nothing she could do about it. Victoria Azarenka, calm, cool, collective, as cool as the other side of the pillow. And this is how this match went. Victoria Azarenka dominated the serve. She dominated the baseline rallies. She dominated the net points. Jessica Pegula is a good player when she's coming towards the net, and she got her reputation as a giant killer for just beating these top players on the move. But outside of this year, Jessica Pegula just hasn't really been the household name. She's really got her breakthrough this year on tour, defeating a lot of the top 10 players. But the reality is, the tennis experts know this is a match that Jessica Pegula would struggle in. And this is definitely why I picked Victoria Azarenka to win this matchup here. Victoria is just way more experienced. She's been battle tested with some of the best players in the history of women's tennis. And this is a match here, kind of like last year at the U.S. Open when Victoria Azarenka played Sabalenka. And that's what I think turned Sabalenka's career around. Victoria Azarenka said in terms of Sabalenka, she's just too young. Her game is just not on my level. I'm way ahead of her. And I kind of remembered those words, and I factored that into this match here, where Pegula is known as a giant killer, but I mean, when we're talking about tennis, there's levels to it, and Victoria Azarenka is just way too more experienced than Jessica Pegula. And the frustration today, I mean, just look at the image there. It was a pretty relaxed day. Victoria Azarenka has won this event 2 times already, and she's going for a 3rd win here. This could really mix up the WTA year-end finals, and it could really put things in a frenzy. But back to the main draw here, we have a couple matches tomorrow that are going to be amazing. The first match is between Anna Kontaveit and Ons Jabeur. That's a tough match to call. I did pick Annette to win that in what will probably be a 3-set match because both ladies are playing so well. I don't see how it could be, finished in 2 sets unless it's like maybe a tie break and a 7-5 or something like that. And the good thing about 2 players that are playing good is a lot of the times when you're talking about in terms of games or matches per the match, like 21 or 22 games, sometimes the games could go over in just 2 sets because the players are just so consistent. But in terms of this match, I do think Annette Kontaveit will win. I think she's made 4 finals this year or something like that. But the reality is, I think she just has more tools in her toolbox. Ons Jabeur is, she's a pretty straightforward player. And I think Annette Kontaveit, she could beat you on the move or she could just beat you going toe-to-toe. So I'd like Annette to win that match. And then we're going to take a look at the late match there between Paula Badosa and Angelique Kerber. That's going to be a really, really good match. And rightfully so, it should be the late match. That's a look of Angelique Kerber there with a nice business attire on there. And that's a look of Paula Badosa. Looks like she's somewhere in the hills of Spain, taking a nice cruise on the yacht. But the reality is this match here is going to come down to, I think, a total of 3 things here. Those 3 things are the U.S. Open, the Australian Open, and the historic Wimbledon. That's right, experience. Paula Badosa does not have the experience of Kerber. She's nowhere near the experience level of Kerber, and that's going to play a lot into this match tomorrow. It's rightfully so that it's the last match. Get your popcorn. But I see Paula Badosa's wide serve just going right into Kerber's strong hand, her left hand that is, and I don't see how Paula Badosa is going to be able to handle that. I can see her getting down early, and then I could see it just turning into a nightmare from there. When Paula Badosa is broken, you could see it on her face, much like a Naomi Osaka, where it's a look of just wanting to give up. And she's still fairly young in her early 20s, and that experience of being broken and having to battle back, she hasn't really faced that. And Kerber's battle tested a lot of her classic matches. I mean, it's like worthy of ESPN classic type of material. But I think it will be a great match. However, I think Kerber is just going to be too strong for Badosa. Badosa is the favorite in this match, and that doesn't really make sense as well. So I do like Angelique Kerber to win the match, and that's going to conclude tomorrow's matches as well. But I do want to take a look at the yearly finals and see what's going on there. So without a doubt, Ashley Barty is the #1 player in the world. If she's on her game, there is just no stopping her. Now, her former doubles teammate, Barbara Krejcikova is number 3, and you can see Barbara working on her backhand slice and trying to get to the level of Barty. I think in another year or two, Krejcikova is going to be a consistent threat on tour, which I mean she actually is now. Sabalenka, the world's ranked number 2. She's been taking some time off, and rightfully so. That was a very, very disappointing loss to Leylah Fernandez in New York. Everyone picked Sabalenka to win that match. I was at that match. I have a ton of video and pictures. It was a really great time. I love going to the U.S. Open. We do a lot of charity work, and we do a lot of contributions. So a lot of times we're able to go there and write off all of our expenses and stuff for going to the U.S. Open. So that's always a great time. And it was a great match. Sabalenka, the crowd was just so much cheering for Leylah Fernandez. Sabalenka literally had to beg the crowd to kind of help lift her during the tough spots in that match. Karolina Pliskova, the world's ranked number 4. I don't see her winning the WTA Finals at all. She's just going to be a fish out of water competing with a lot of these ladies. I think they're just going to be too fast, too short, and just beat her to the punch all night. Maria Sakkari, she's a fighter, she's a warrior, but much like the match we saw tonight with Ostapenko, where Ostapenko had a ton of unforced errors, there's no way Sakkari will win a WTA Finals making that, those type of errors. It's just not going to happen. Garbiñe Muguruza, great player, 2-time slam winner. Again, much like Karolina Pliskova, she's not going to win the WTA Finals. There's just no way, and especially with Barbara Krejcikova in the draw, no. I mean, I think the matchmakers will probably put Krejcikova and Garbiñe to face each other sooner than later, and there's no way Garbiñe is going to beat Krejcikova. That's just a player that just has her number. Iga Swiatek, she has a chance to win, but I do not like her confidence. Again, much like Osaka, who's ranked 8th now for just being so inactive with all the stuff she has going on off the court and her boyfriend and all that crazy stuff. When those players are broken, they don't play well with adversity. But I will give Osaka, next to Barty, the second best chance to win the finals as long as she's practicing and taking care of business. She can beat any of these ladies here. Sakkari, without a doubt. Garbiñe, without a doubt. We did see a classic match with Iga Swiatek and Osaka, but Osaka did prevail. Karolina Pliskova would not give Osaka a hard time. Barbara Krejcikova could give her a little bit of trouble, but I think Osaka's serve, if it's working as it should, she would win that match. And much like Sabalenka, I think the serves will cancel each other out, and Osaka, just being the better player, would definitely get past Sabalenka. Ons Jabeur would be a threat because she's playing very, very well. I could see Ons Jabeur beating Sabalenka. I could see her beating Krejcikova. I could see her beating Pliskova. I could see her beating Sakkari. I could see her beating Swiatek again. And I could definitely see her beating Garbiñe Muguruza. Elise Mertens, she's currently ranked 10, but I think that might change because Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova, I think, could possibly jump here. But Mertens, we all know the scouting report on Mertens. She's a good tour player. She can consistently go deep in the draw. But when we're talking about the best players in the world, she doesn't have the power to compete with Garbiñe Muguruza. She doesn't have the power to compete with Osaka. She doesn't have the power to get past Sakkari. She doesn't have the power to get past Pliskova. She could compete with the Barbara Krejcikova, but again, Sabalenka, has her former doubles partner, has just been beating her so bad this year. I think she could possibly give Barty a run for her money. Barty's style fits hers a little bit more. But again, asking Mertens to beat Barty, that's a big feat in itself. And Pavlyuchenkova could upset any of these ladies here because she has the power to. But being this late in the season, I think, as an older player on tour, that's a lot to ask for her. Svetlana, who we saw was injured a couple days ago, losing to Jessica Pegula. She could possibly, I think, jump a little bit here, but if she is an alternate, I definitely see some injuries happen. Definitely injuries will happen. Injuries always happen at the World Finals. And just looking at the recent form, I could see Barbara Krejcikova having issues with health. I could also see Osaka or Swiatek having issues with health. And if Svitolina can recover quick and get healthy, Svitolina can beat any of these ladies here without a doubt. Svitolina has owned Ashley Barty in the past, the number one seed. Svetlana has beat all of these ladies before, Pliskova. So Svetlana would be my wild card here. If she could get in, she could definitely do damage and win it again. She's won it before. She's been the runner-up before. So she has the confidence, and she's expressed that's the biggest accomplishment of her career, and winning the silver medal this year. I'm sorry, the bronze medal this year. That's definitely up there on the pedestal as well. And I think her husband Gail just lost to Zverev, so that was a good match there. But yeah, that concludes the video. I want to thank you guys for your likes, your views, your comments, the love. This is good energy. With so much going on in the world, 20 minutes of talking about tennis. I hope it gets your mind off of things and entertains you and relaxes you. Tennis is one of my favorite sports. I've been following it for a very long time. I played other sports as well, so I love really good entertainment, and that's really what it's supposed to do. In terms of tomorrow's matches, I'll probably do a recap if I get some time. I will be watching them for sure. And in terms of my picks, you can sign up for my Patreon account. I'll put the link below. Regardless of what I post on here, in terms of my Patreon account, I will give you my most confident plays and picks. And there's also a donation link. It takes a lot of time to make these videos. I would love to incorporate live video and feeds into these segments, but I really can't. So it's tough to compete with the larger channels. Even if I claim the Fair Use Act, they still penalize me. So I thank you very much. Please donate if you can. If not, thanks for the love, support. Have a great night.